I'm going to show you how to make an easy and delicious peach cobbler, okay? Now we're going to be using a 9 by 13 dish. And the first thing I want you to do is to preheat your oven to about 375, okay? About 375. And we're going to take a little, I'm gonna use a whole stick of butter, okay? We're gonna take a whole stick of butter, put it in this dish. That is my oven preheating. Okay, oven is preheating. We're just gonna stick it in the oven to get our butter melted, all right? Don't leave it in there too long. You just wanna keep your butter melted. It'll only take a few minutes. And then we're gonna come here. Make sure you guys are sharing, okay? We're gonna come here and we're going to get self-rising flour. You're going to need milk, which I already thought I had it out for some reason. Okay. Self-rising flour. Let's get this one from over. Where is it? A cup of self-rising flour. Now, if you're using a bigger dish than what you see me using, then double the recipe, or maybe just go over a half. Instead of a cup of flour, you can maybe use a cup and a half. All right. Self-rising flour. Make sure that it is self-rising flour. And then we're going to use a cup of sugar. All right. This is going to be for your crust. All right. Okay. This is going to be for your crust. And then you're just going to take your whisk and check this butter. It don't take butter long. For the people that I know that's going to ask, anytime I know I have a lot of baking to do, I keep my butter in the cabinet. Okay? That ain't going to hurt. 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of sugar, okay? Mix that really well and set it to the side, all right? Now, for your mix. Now, I am using, what size can is this? Of course, you know I can't show it to you. This is a 29-ounce can of peaches with the juice, okay? Peaches with the juice. Now, if you want, of course, you know, peaches are out of season. So if you want to go and get them and cut them up, that's up to you. This is a 15-ounce can without the juice, okay? The fat can has the juice, the smaller one without. All right? Before we do anything with that, we're going to get this. I'm going to bring this to a boil. Then we're going to come here and go ahead and get our 1 cup of milk, because we know we're going to need that for our crust. All right? 1 cup of milk. And we're going to take this cornstarch. I'm going to get just a little dish. It doesn't really matter what kind of dish it is. Cornstarch. And I'm going to take, for that amount, probably just 1 of these. I'll do 1.5. All right. And then you're going to put just about a drop or 2 of water in here. And you just want to mix this. Okay? You just want to mix it. But just make sure that you don't have no lumps in it. Okay? Because if you have lumps in here, then you have lumps in your peach mixture. All right? Just make sure you don't have any lumps. That's all you need. It don't have to be thick or none of that. Now, I got a lemon here. I'm gonna roll this lemon. Take this lemon and just slice it. You're only going to use 1/2. Okay? This is to catch the seeds. The other lemon is going to go in the refrigerator, believe it or not. All right? Slide y'all down a little bit. I have a 1/2 stick. I know y'all probably thought about that, but I didn't forget. I have a 1/2 stick of butter. All right? To all of the health nuts. You already know peach cobbler is very unhealthy. So if you can't have it, just don't have it. We got to stop trying to find ways to eat stuff that we know we ain't supposed to have. 1/2 stick of butter. And then we're going to get let's see. I'm going to use 1/8 of nutmeg. All right. Y'all tap the screen. Share the live. 1/8 of nutmeg. You have to be careful with nutmeg because it's very powerful. Okay. So I don't use much of it at all. My cinnamon, I am going to use 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. And again, there are various ways to make peach cobbler, okay? Various ways. A lot of people have their own little method. 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay. We're going to get our sugar. You got brown sugar and white sugar. Okay. Half a cup of light brown sugar. This is my 1/4 cup measurer. Okay. And I have to use 2 of these. Now you know brown sugar, the accurate measurements, you have to pat brown sugar down. Okay, to get the correct measurements. Pat it down. If you're worrying about the sugar, I tell you what to do. All you have to do is put a less amount of sugar in your crust. All right? Put a less amount of sugar in your crust. And then we have a 1/2 cup of white sugar. All right. This is a 1 cup measure, so just do 1/2 of it. There's your sugar. Stir it. We're not finished. I'll get you a little closer. Now, if you want to, you can use a half a stick of butter in that, but that's what's going to flavor your crust right here. Here, popping. That popping lets me know I left it in there about a second or so. Well, maybe about a minute too long. But just don't let it brown. That's the problem. You don't want it to brown. If you're watching and you're new, give me a follow, share the live. I appreciate it. Now, I use butter extract and I use a little bit of vanilla. Now, for me, peach cobbler, I have to be able to taste my peaches, okay? So I don't put a whole lot of extract in here at all. You know, sometimes you can add so much stuff that you can't really even taste what you're eating. Okay, and we know vanilla could be strong, lemon could be strong, all of that good stuff. Extract, that is. I haven't added the cornstarch yet. I want it to kind of like bubble, but not really. Okay, so the butter we're going to do, I'm going to do a half teaspoon of butter extract, and then I'm going to do less of vanilla. And you don't have to add the butter. You can just use vanilla. There are some older people in my family, they don't put extracts in there at all. And it still be good. And that's because they like to taste the peaches. Okay, that was a half. And I'm going to do an 1/8 teaspoon of, well, I'll do a 1/4. I'll do a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. It's starting to come together. All right, so I want to turn it down just a little bit. And now we're going to add in a little slurry. It'll thicken better if you let this get hot before you put this cornstarch slurry in here. If you want it darker, add more cinnamon, add more nutmeg. But again, I like to know I'm eating peach cobbler. All right. Put that slurry in there and then mix it. It shouldn't be thick as syrup in this pan because it still has, in the pot, because it still has to bake. Keep in mind that it has to bake, okay? If you get it as thick as it's gonna be when it's done cooking, then it's gonna be so thick and probably dry. But guess what? You'll have to eat that. Okay? Get me a spoon. I got me some ice cream I'm gonna eat with this. Ooh-wee. Oh man. Oh man. Ooh. Canned peaches, yes. If you want to use fresh peaches, by golly gee, you do that. Y'all know how I always tell you, this is not your granny peach cobbler. This is not your Meemaw peach cobbler. Okay? We're going to turn it down just a little bit. Y'all, this thing's so good, I promise you. I wouldn't lie to you. I would not lie to you. So we're going to come here with that. Again, this is 1 cup of self-rising flour, 1 cup of granulated sugar, and then we're going to add 1 cup of whole milk, also known as sweet milk. All right, this is what's going to make your crust. And it's going to be very thin, okay? But don't let the thinness fool you. It's going to be very thin. Oh, y'all, I think I saw somebody that I meant to speak to the last time I saw them over here. You know what, Eva? Thank you. We're still working on the gift gallery, so if anybody can send something from the gift gallery, I appreciate it. If you can't, don't worry about it. All right, it's going to be very thin. I'm going to turn this off, okay? And then you're going to bring this down here. This is not that old-fashioned peach cobbler. You know, the one back in the day when they've had the crust on the bottom, the double crust peach cobbler? This is not that. All right. I would do that, but that's too much work. Because who's going to clean up all that flour from rolling that stuff out? One cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, 1 self-rising flour, a cup of milk, and a cup of white granulated sugar. Okay? Everyday sugar. This shouldn't be hot now. Okay, it ain't. And then you're going to take this. Remember, this is going to do what it needs to be. You're just going to pour it out. Right with all that butter in the pan. Y'all know I've been raised by the old folk. Get all that out of there. Now, you're going to take this mixture and then, hold on, I can't. Y'all know I got a little bit of OCD. Just can't get that off of there. To this mixture, you're going to come with your peaches and just pour it right on here. Okay? If you want less juice, all you got to do is use less juice. You don't have to pour it all in here if you don't want to. Okay? You don't have to pour it all in here. Now, keep in mind, you don't really have to stir this, but I want to spread the peaches out. Not don't have to stir it, don't stir it, okay? But I do want to spread the peaches out. And you're going to take it just the way it is and put it in the oven just like that. What I want to do is, hold on. You're gonna be smart in this season. It's not gonna run out, okay? I promise you, it will not run out. But just for precautionary measures, we're gonna take it and put it on something. See that? And the crust that's at the bottom is